My transformation videos have gotten millions of views, and the most common question I get is, how do I lose that last layer of fat? Most of you have been trying for months, and some of you even years, to lose what everyone calls stubborn belly fat. But after talking to hundreds of people with the exact same problem, I've noticed a clear pattern. There's two different categories that I see you fall into. Either you've got a good amount of body fat to lose overall, but feel like most of it's stored in your stomach, or you're close to seeing your abs, but it's just covered by that last layer of fat. The thing is, both of these guys end up running into the same problem. They drop their calories super low, start with an hour of cardio, and basically try to suffer more to get that fat off. Then, after a few weeks, they look in the mirror, don't see the progress they want, and get frustrated. So they go online looking for some fat loss hack that's going to help them lose it faster, only to get overwhelmed by all the information they see, or feel like it's impossible to do because of their job or genetics, or just the fact that they don't have enough time. And that's because the fitness industry has pushed the idea for years that you can have this fast transformation if you just suffer more, or you inject some weight loss drug, or basically starve yourself. And I used to fall into that trap too. I thought I'd never be able to get lean and then actually stay that way all year until I learned what I'm going to teach you in this video. It's a simple method called reverse pyramid dieting, and it's the only way to fix your metabolism and body so you can finally lose that last layer of fat. And because my goal with this channel is to simplify all the noise and overcomplication you see online, I'm going to explain exactly what it looks like for someone in your shoes. I want you guys to meet Julian, one of my guys that just finished up losing that last layer of fat. And I'm going to show you exactly what he ate, how he trained, and the cardio he did so he could finally get lean in less than 3 months. And the best part is, he didn't feel like he was suffering, and he was balancing work, time with his girlfriend, and studying in medical school. I'm literally going to hold nothing back, and this will be one of the most valuable videos you watch, so pay attention. First, we have to understand where you're actually starting, whether you've got a good amount of fat to lose or you just have that last layer. I need you to realize that your body is not meant to be starving for months on end. And if you've been eating less than 2,000 calories, not eating any carbs, and going on runs all the time, your body literally will fight against fat loss. Your metabolism will adapt, and you'll feel low energy and not have good workouts. And this just leads to your body using muscle for energy and holding onto your fat instead. I mean, that's the last thing we want. So the first thing me and Julian had to fix was his metabolism with what I call the foundation phase. Julian was 175 pounds at 5'11", and before watching my channel and booking his call, Julian had tried getting lean on his own so many times. But every time he would try, he'd feel like he was hungry all day and rebound or give up because, he was eating 1,600 calories, feeling drained all day at work, and he still wasn't losing that stubborn fat. So we took a different approach than he'd done before. Instead of starting his calories super low, we actually set his calories right under his maintenance. And you can find this number by multiplying your body weight by 14, which for him was about 2,450 calories. We wanted him eating mainly whole foods and higher calories, so we had more room to make changes as we started cutting. Because when you start at 1,600 calories and your body adapts, now you don't have any room to go lower and trick your body into losing more fat. That's why we go right below your maintenance at the start and wait until your body adapts, right? This can take 2 to 3 weeks and you'll be losing weight the entire time. Then when it starts to stall, you make a small change to either your cardio or your calories. And this literally tricks your body into continuing to lose fat. But Julian didn't eat the same thing every day. You see, your body needs more energies on days you work out and less on days that you're not going to the gym. So on his training days, we went higher carb, around 2,450 calories. And then on his rest day, we lowered his calories to 2,200 with about 70 grams less of carbs. My goal with each of the guys on my team is to create a plan that adapts to your individual body, schedule, and the foods you like. But I'm going to walk you guys through exactly what Julian's meals actually look like. First, on training days to get his carbs in, we had a bowl of protein oatmeal in the morning, which was 60 grams of oats, 1 scoop of protein, a sliced banana, and 20 grams of peanut butter. He wanted to work out in the afternoon after work or his classes, so for lunch, we did stir-fry chicken with 150 grams of chicken, 200 grams of white rice, and then a veggie of his choice. I always recommend sauteing up bell peppers and some onions to add some flavor and volume to your meals. This gave him plenty of fuel to still train really hard in the gym, which is how you signal to your body to keep building muscle while you're getting lean. After his workouts, he'd get on the incline treadmill for 20 minutes, and we only trained 4 days a week. We used a split that I teach on this channel called PPLA, or push, pull, legs, and then arms. And I want to emphasize that cardio is super important when you're trying to have a transformation like this, because it allows you to fuel your workouts with more food instead of feeling like you're starving all day. So after Julian's workout, he'd do a scoop of protein with ice and berries, and then for dinner, he'd have a beef and potato bowl. This would usually be about 200 grams of lean ground beef, 300 grams of potatoes, 2 eggs, some sugar-free ketchup, and I told him to add more volume by adding in some lettuce and tomatoes to make it taste like a burger bowl. Then to end his day off, because he had a sweet tooth, we add a Greek yogurt bowl. which is about 200 grams of Greek yogurt, 100 grams of fruit with a bit of honey. If his workout ended later and he wanted to do dinner right after, he'd just add that scoop of protein from earlier into his yogurt bowl. The most important thing I want you guys to realize here is that during this foundation phase, you're going to see some progress, but the goal is to set yourself up so progress is even faster the next month. We want you to have a sustainable plan that you can actually build the right habits around. So for Julian, we created a daily routine so he knew where to fit in his meals, his walks, and his workouts to actually live a normal life while he was losing fat. Sticking to super low calories for 30 days won't allow you to last long enough to actually lose that stubborn fat. So Julian started waking up earlier, doing his glass of electrolytes, push-ups, making his bed, then doing a morning walk. You guys can't underestimate how these early wins help you stack up the momentum that you need to actually stick to the plan. It's not always about motivation, it's about having a plan that you know you're doing every day. After his meals, he'd go on a short walk, and then after dinner, he'd have another 30-minute walk around his neighborhood. This put him around 10 to 12,000 steps on his workout and his rest days. For his meals on rest days, we wanted to go lower carbs, so we swapped the protein oats out with a yogurt bowl. Same thing, 200 grams of Greek yogurt, a scoop of protein, and some fruit. For lunch, he had chicken stir fry again with a protein shake when he got hungry midday. And for dinner, he had a beef and rice bowl with 200 grams of lean ground beef, 150 grams of rice, and some veggies. I want you guys to realize that what tends to happen during a cut is you cut your calories too low, too fast, and you try to rush the process. You go low carbs every day, which causes your testosterone to drop and your body to fight back. And when you start so low, you have no room to make those changes that make your body continue to lose fat long term. So to keep his hormones high, at the end of the day, we had a meal of 100 grams of beef with 2 eggs. This gave his body all the healthy fats, the cholesterol, and the micronutrients it needed to keep his hormones working, even while he was in a deficit. And this is how he actually recovered before his workout the next day. This plan of 4 workouts a week, 20 minutes of low intensity cardio, and 2,450 calories on training days, and 2,200 on rest days started really kicking in. The first month, he lost about 5 pounds, but he really started noticing the difference. He was feeling good every day. He didn't feel like he was suffering, and he was able to actually stick to the plan. So I knew he was ready to enter the next phase, which is called the sculpting phase. This is where we want the fat to really start to come off. So we bumped his cardio to 30 minutes for 2 weeks, where he lost another 2.5 pounds of just fat. But even though we were losing weight, he was actually getting stronger in the gym. He was feeling more motivated, and the other areas of his life started really lining up. He told me that he had never felt like getting lean could be this easy, and he wanted to kick it up a notch. So I had him start doing his cardio in the mornings fasted. Doing your cardio fasted allows your body to burn your fat stores more directly for energy, and it's around the 6-week mark where we first start to drop his calories. We dropped about 50 grams of beef off, 50 grams of rice, and 50 grams of potatoes from both his days of eating. And again, for the next 2 weeks, he lost 4 pounds. And that's about the most fat you can lose before your body starts losing muscle. This is where we get to that last layer of fat, and when we got on our check-in call for that week, he told me that it had felt so much easier than any time he'd lost this much before, and he was ready to really push 2 to 10%. It's only after we get the mindset, the habits, the foundation built, that's when we entered the next phase, which I call the final push. And this is where we add an extra day of fasted cardio at 30 minutes, switched him over to the Stairmaster, and dropped his calories another 200. And it's during this phase that you can actually lose that last layer of fat, but we were only able to get there because he built the mindset, the habits, and the foundation first. That's what you guys have been missing. You try to jump to the end before you're even ready to. Julian had to build the routine, lose the fat around his face, his lower back, and everywhere else first before we could finally target the belly fat. That's how fat loss works. Your belly fat is the last place that you're going to lose because your body keeps it there to protect your vital organs. And when you drop your calories super low and suffer more like all these influencers tell you, you just burn out and you don't get the chance to actually get to that stubborn fat. So now we had pulled all the levers. We had slowly ramped up his cardio, steadily dropped his calories so he never plateaued, and we'd done it without feeling like it was suffering. He was just following the plan and could actually stick to it while balancing a normal life. And that's why over the next 2 to 3 weeks, he got leaner and leaner without losing any of his muscle. The fasted cardio was burning that last layer of fat. His higher carb days were making it so he still had workouts that were building muscle, and the steady drop of calories allowed his body to not feel like it was starving and finally let go of that stubborn fat. In about 80 days, this is what he was looking like. He'd finally been able to get his abs in crispy like he'd never done before, and when we caught on our next check-in, he was telling me that it had never felt better. He didn't think it could happen this fast, and when you get to this point and really get the fat off, your metabolism and body is just trained to burn through food. So this is where we enter the last phase where you're able to stay lean for as long as you want, and it's the last part of reverse pyramid pyramid dieting, where we actually bring your calories back up to your maintenance. You're able to build even more muscle, all without putting on any more body fat. Julian got stronger and stronger as we slowly added more carbs into his diet, and within the next 6 weeks, he was back to eating 2,600 calories on his training days. But now he was leaner than he was at the end of his cut. That's the best part of reverse pyramid dieting. You steadily bring your calories down so you don't plateau, and then when you get the fat off, your body is just primed to build muscle and stay lean, even when you bring the calories back up. Julian was able to not only change his entire physique, but he actually learned how to get a result that will last for life. And that's my goal with this channel. I want to actually teach you guys what it takes for someone like you to change your body, your mindset, and finally get lean. So make sure you drop a follow, because I drop in-depth videos like this showing you real transformations and also give you simple breakdowns of the strategies that will help you finally get and stay lean all the time. Losing your last layer of fat and getting lean is the best decision you guys will ever make, but it takes a commitment. You have to be willing to work hard for the next 3 to 6 months, depending on where you're at now. I promise you, anyone can do it, regardless of your starting point, your age, or your experience in the gym. I mean, I've got guys as old as 65 getting to 10% body fat like Terry, dads that work full time like Josh and Zach, and even guys that start with a ton of body fat like Lachlan, who trust the process, invest in themselves, and decide to finally stop putting off their goals for later. So if you want a transformation like these guys and my direct help building a plan for your life and your goals, you can book a call to see if you're a good fit for my coaching below. Because of how personalized my approach is, my spots fill up really fast, and I only take in guys that actually want my help to finally get lean. Joining my coaching isn't going to be free, and it's an investment into yourself. But the skills that you're going to learn working with me are going to change your life. And if you're not ready for coaching, subscribe, drop a comment explaining what you struggle with, and I'll make a video going over how to fix it. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching and hope you learned something today. I'll talk to you guys in the next video, which you can watch right here. Peace.